Welcome and hello, good morning on this beautiful, coldish, but very, very refreshing Saturday morning right here on Scars with me, Mariki Bothma Ndomza Mazulu, Zinti Ndomza KZN. And as usual, we start the show with, what are your scars? Do you have scars that you would like to share with the world of perseverance, overcoming? And no matter how heavy your scars, are you able to use your scars to create a future? Or do you use your scars to blame your past? This is Scars right here on Galaxy Universal Networks, Starset Channel 500. If you've joined us on Facebook, please do comment on today's show. And we have the most beautiful, amazing Miss V in the house. Miss V.
Greetings.
How are you?
All good, my queen was say.
I am good. I'm good. I love the way you just say queen. There's something about you when you talk to any woman, you address them as a queen.
Nice.
But let's go a bit back. Obviously, people watching us right now want to know, who is Miss V?
All right. Miss V is a 35-year-old preacher's kid, raised in the Northwest Province. I'm a mother of two. I have a company called Talent Awareness Agency. I'm a co-founder in an organization in prison, Talent Awareness Projects, which works with reintegration of offenders in communities. I'm a dancer, I'm a singer, I'm an actress, I'm in entertainment most of my life. I'm just this bubbly girl that's just growing and growing to be this beautiful woman. I've seen my fair share of life, pain, hate, but I've overcame in a whole lot of space. But in a nutshell, what I can say is that Violet is a strong woman that has realized that if your mind is positive, you can face any challenge and come out very strong and come out very beautiful.
Wow. I think you're the true, when we started with Scars was all about taking people through a journey of being a victim to learning how to live with whatever they went through and becoming the survivor, actually realizing that they are not the victims, because the victims we've buried. They are actually the survivors and the overcomers and the conquerors. And today you sit here next to me as a conqueror. That's how I see you.
Yes.
So I want us to actually go back into your childhood. I know you're from Northwest.
Yes.
And when you started your introduction, you said you are a preacher's child. Now, many people have the mindset that as preacher's children, because I was also a preacher's child, have a good life. But reality is, I think we have it worse off than most people.
True that.
So could you take us a little bit back into your childhood journey?
Okay. I'm from a very small family. My my grandmother is actually the person that raised me more than my own mother. And having to grow in an environment where it's only boys around you and you have to stand for yourself. You don't have a sister, you don't have anyone that you can cry to. So I was bullied in most of my life, and I hated looking like a girl. So I started wearing jeans, I had mohawks, my friends, I made sure it's boys, I made sure I stuck around LGBTQ, I rolled more than normal people. Because when you are from a preacher's house, you're not expected to have problems, you're not expected to be seen dancing there, staging somewhere. You're not expected to be found with as entertainment. So for me, having to be raised by a very religious father that didn't allow me to even have friends, didn't allow me to sleep out, didn't allow me to actually do most of the things that I saw most of my girlfriends do. It made me even hate my own girlfriends because my life was different from theirs. Their mothers would buy them toys, I would have to go herd cows, come back from school, drop your bags, go straight in the bush, go look for cows. So most of my journey was more into having to live up myself and forget that I'm a girl.
So I know in your culture specifically, it's mostly boys that have to herd cattle and cows. Do you think it was a situation of seeing that you're the only girl, you had to be groomed and brought up as a boy? Or what do you think led to that?
No, what I'm thinking is my mother and father used to do domestic work. Even my mother just currently this year lost her job. Finally, she stopped doing domestic work. She's home. My father works in the mine, and he does touring a lot of times. So I had no friends. So seeing that you be raised, and then my father, I thought it was normal, you know, to milk cows, you know, all those things that are done by males. I can say that those were the things that I actually used to do most of the time. When other girls were playing netball, I'd actually be cleaning the stalls for the cows. I would actually be cleaning where the kettles eat, you know, held down lucerne, the food for the cows. I would feed cows, and that actually made me completely enjoy most of my time doing these things, because when I was around people, I didn't fit in. I couldn't fit in because I could not understand certain things that people feel in terms of having to have friends. How is it like to actually discuss your problems? Because the only thing I could do was just sing. Get in that bush, look for those cows. When I find them, make sure they're in one place, find a nice tree, sit down there and start singing.
Oh, wow.
Then it happened that I actually started to actually enjoy my space.
So that's where your passion for music started.
And with the regard of my music, my mother used to change songs at church. She even does it even this day. Like at the church choir, she would be a conductor, so it would happen at home. She would be writing songs, and I'll be right there, and I'll be the first one to know the song, so that it would be easier for her to teach at church.
Oh, nice.
So it became more of a journey, more of a habit. I knew it's okay when there's going to be a church song, my mother's going to be writing and I'm going to be the first one to know the song. And even at school, you know, when I would miss every school I went to, I attended the school choir. Every school from primary. Most of my teachers know me. If they're watching now, they know this girl was just going to be in every talent search at school. It made me relate more to my inner me, because that's the part that you could not stop me from doing. You could not stop me from attending a talent search. I used to be beaten up. My father didn't want anything. If there should be school out, maybe it's about 2 o'clock, and I get home around 4 or 5, I'm gonna get a beating on my life. So it became like, he's gonna beat me anyway, I'm gonna do it.
It's just
he's gonna beat me anyway, I'm gonna do it.
Wow.
And it paved the way, because I used to dance pantola. I used to be with crews. I used to have most of the events that would happen. Lebo Matosa, I met her through the dancing thing in Brits taxi rank. I met Huma Sikela in the process. I met Sis Brenda herself. I ran away from school. I remember there was a time Mandela came to Mabopani, and instead of taking a bus to school, I actually took a bus that detoxed, and I went my own way. And I spent almost the whole day in that stadium. And luckily enough, I was the luckiest little girl that could actually sit on Brenda's lap.
Oh, wow.
That completely now turned my vision to say, one day I'm going to be on TV. And by then I was maybe in grade 4, 97, when I started to actually love the microphone and started following.
Really realizing that you can make a living out of this.
Yeah, like this is what I want to do. I actually didn't even know that I'm going to make a life out of it. I actually thought it is my way to run away from other people. Because in that way, I know, when I'm on my own, I'll be singing, and then I like singing to other people because I do it good.
Yeah.
That is what I need.
So I know there's a certain part of your life, and the reason why we invited you on the show is you have a story to tell.
Bless.
And there's a lot of people watching our shows right now who are survivors of rape, who are survivors of abuse.
Bless.
And I would like us to go into your journey. Later on in the show, we'll go into the abuse part of it. So I know it might be hard, because it's very hard for someone to openly talk about rape.
Bless.
Could you take us through your journey?
It all happened in 2007, when I finally knew my way around Joburg. There was a place in Newtown. There was a band that used to be called Kaya Africa by then. It was led by a very old man that actually welcomed me in Joburg, and there were other guys, there were other young kids that were there, but in most cases I stood out because whenever the marimba band would be practicing, my voice would gel along with them, and it was more of I'm being promised that I'm going to be the lead singer for the band. Little did I know that actually it was vice versa. So the old man literally was sleeping with me every day. I became his wife. I became his
slave
product, or I don't know, because he would decide where I go, how I go, when I go, or when I don't. But I was not aware that this was actually wrong, because I thought, since I'm not from Joburg and he truly cares, so probably this is what needs to happen to a girl when they get to Joburg. You find a
for
guy
them to make it.
For you to make it, there's someone out there that's going to just capture you. And I've always seen, okay, when you get into Joburg, your life changes. There's people who come. So now, little did I know that this was wrong for it to happen. By the time I realized, there was a lady that entered into the picture, Sis Nozinguze. I love her so much. She actually is the reason why I'm so strong. But in the process of that year, I felt pregnant in the process, not being aware that I'm pregnant, and it was my second baby. Then the fear of going home and saying I'm pregnant for this old man was just too much. So the frustration, I think maybe probably, and the desperation of the feeling of how I was feeling with the pregnancy and everything, I had an early labor. I had a miscarriage, but the baby came. It was a girl. Sis Nozi was there with me. It happened in Coronation Hospital. And since that day, the following day after the Caesar and the delivery, I was sent back home. And to this day, I wonder if really my baby died. I don't know. I don't know if my child is there or it was true, because she cried. She's not, he told me she's dead, and Babu Tutugani. After that night, when I came back from the hospital, he had a studio session. I went, and in pain as I was, I went to the studio. We did a song. I remember it was in downtown. And then I was sent back home, and my whole life turned upside down. I hated being a girl. I threw away my dresses. I stopped interacting with other girls as well. Started drinking a lot. Since then, I was staying with my grandfather and my grandmother, and my mother and father were not allowing me to be a singer or dancer or anything. I felt more at ease when I was at my grandmother's place, because in that way I could attend talent searches. I still continued. I would never be missing in any show. I'd never be missing in anything that had to do with stage. So, but then unfortunately for me, it was not happening at all. And then 2008.
Okay, I'm going to hold you right there. We're going to take a quick break just to give Miss V some time for her to find herself. It is very hard, and when we come back after the break, we'll continue this discussion. Do not go anywhere. Maybe you are going through what Miss V went through, and maybe you also have not dealt with it. And as I personally can tell that Miss V has still not accepted or understood what really happened to her baby girl. We're going to take a short break. Right after the break, we'll be back with Miss V. Do not go anywhere.
It's courage. With 168 hours in a week, I hope you will share one of them with me, Dr. Tony Luck, every Wednesday from 3:30 to 4:30 as we get to the heart of the matter. With the many, many issues that are confronting our world today, I am convinced that together we can craft amazing solutions, not only that will transform our lives, but the lives of our children, the lives of our families, the lives of our communities, the lives of our nations, our world, our environment. So every Wednesday I will be on Galaxy Universal Network, Starsat Channel 500, so that we can have this exciting discussion. And I'm looking so forward to you joining me. So we're going to really get to the heart of the matter. May God bless you.
Feel the heat.
Hold on. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way.
Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with Starsat.
Welcome back to SCARS right here on Galaxy Universal Network, Stars at Channel 500. And today we have the most amazing queen in the house, Miss V, who just before the break shared how she lost her baby and how she till today questions, is the baby alive or not? Miss V, with my first pregnancy, I was expecting twins. And because of the abusive relationship I was in, I gave birth at 7 months. And I lost my baby girl as well a few hours after birth. I never even had the chance to see her or even hear her cry. And I know, let me put it like this. I would like to thank you for being brave enough to share your story with us. But I would like you to take us a little bit back again to say what made you question the fact whether your baby made it or not.
I can't explain it, but whenever I see someone holding a baby girl, I wonder how old would she be now? Because I have 2 boys now. In the process of the rape, I had already had my first baby, Tepo, 2003. And then I went to my matric 2004. And then the baby daddy, I actually found this passion of going to auditions and stuff through him. So this time around, I thought I was making for me because I didn't want him to be part of what I was doing. But then it created me to have more distance with the whole situation. And he knew. And the nicest thing about him is he didn't care. He was like telling me that it's life and it's not easy to be a star in this country. And then 2009, I gave birth to my second baby, Letap. It's a boy again. To this day, when Muso died, 2010, he was hijacked and killed. I lost my best friend. I lost someone that saw the beauty in me before I could even realize how beautiful I was. The world became cold. People I called friends turned on me. And that's when now I started to really experience abuse in all levels. Because now when a guy comes and says they love you, they sleep with you and leave you like that. You know, and you don't even know.
It's okay.
you're a precious kid. You're supposed to be smiling every day, you know. If people found out your mother is gonna hate you for that, you know. What are you gonna say to the church people? I felt embarrassed. Then life went on. After we buried Musa, I tried to actually find life. There had been complications because it was a long-distance relationship, so obviously life has to go on. Then, yeah, I tried. I stayed in more than, I don't know how many communities, and every community I went to, it will always be children in my yard. Every place I went to, it will always be. Once I get in a place, after a few days, 4 days, you find just a lot of kids in my house, because I felt like if your mind is weak, you will grow up and end up not knowing exactly what your dreams are. So I found peace in working with children and pursuing still writing and stuff. And 2015, I had enough of my community now. I was like, yes, then this hate is too much for me. And every person I get to be close to like changes once they realize my background, that I'm poor. My grandmother's house was too small. We were so many kids in that house. You know, I was mocked a lot. And even at school, the nicest thing is at school, in class, I was good. My books were saying something, but the friendship that I had with the other students and stuff, I never fitted in. Until 2016, I decided I'm enough, and I came this side of Joburg, and yeah, I
Tried to start a life.
Yeah, I started to realize, I've been putting myself down. I've been around people and situations and circumstances that actually caged me. And then I started to see the limelight in a different way.
I want to take you a little bit back. I know today's interview is very hard on you, but I want to take you back to your friend who was murdered. I know he's very dear to you, and I would like us to talk about him, because I believe people like him do not die in vain. People like him should be honored. And I would like to take this opportunity to honor him. And I would like us to take us through who he was, so that we can just honor him.
Musa was my friend, you know, my ride or die, you'd say. He saw a lot of things, because I used to be beaten up a lot of times. I was that little girl that just be beaten up, sometimes for no reason.
For nothing, NJ.
And running to him and telling him, you know, it was easy, because he was visiting most of the time in the Tabile in Centerville. He used to visit a lot. So whenever he'd be around, you'll never see me in the street. Wherever he is, you'll find me somewhere there in the corner somewhere. And his friendship meant a lot, because I looked forward to visiting my grandmother every time when school closes, because I knew he's going to be there. And then one day after my 19th birthday, we decided to actually
have a relationship.
I don't know, we didn't decide. We woke up and everything was just, they would see, you two are now partners, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, and then he never judged me. He actually used to sacrifice his own lunch money sometimes. He used to be in Randfontein, but he would send me money. You know, and these are the things you will not tell someone who would, you know, I have this friend who's doing this for me, you know? And his words, he used to tell me that I have a great voice, that I must go on radio. Like, he saw things that I never actually really sometimes
you
believed.
Didn't believe.
Yeah, I never believed, because no one wanted those things. It's only my grandfather that actually allowed the art in me come out, because he used to play guitar. So Musa was the person I knew would say, come rain, come storm. It's morning, it's night, it's 3 a.m., it's 5 a.m. He's going to be there. You know, when I call on him, he's going to be there. And when I need help, he'll be there. You know, I used to ask him questions, a lot of questions about boys and girls and stuff. And he would literally be as cold and true about every question I'd ask. And even if when we felt pregnant because he was like, are we pregnant? Like, yeah, we are, you know. And he was looking forward to raising the child, because it was twins. It was a boy and a girl. And then the girl passed. It was premature labor, so the girl passed, and then Tepo survived. We stayed like 3 months in hospital, George Mokari Hospital. We stayed for some time in the hospital. He used to come from Randfontein to come check on the baby, check on us and visit, you know. And then when after the baby we were released from hospital, then I went to his house. Now, you know,
Then you started your family.
yeah, like no, at his mother's house, like in Randfontein, because here my father, my family was not happy that much, and I didn't want to stay with my child at my grandmother's place because there's a lot of kids and grandchildren there, and I was like, nah, it's okay, I'll go stay in Randfontein for the sake of the child. Then 2004, I wanted to come back to school. I left the child. I came back to the Northwest, and then that's where now the problem started, because there were words that I want to be, don't know, doing my things, I'm not taking care of the child, and in the process of being in school I could not actually focus that much because I was most of the time absent because of the child was far from where I am. But when it came to my preparation exams, and there was a call that came in to say I must come back to Randfontein because the child needs me, I chose school. And then from there I started hating going to Randfontein because I felt like they don't want me to survive in life. They want me to just stick there and focus on a child.
A housewife kind of a
setup. Yeah, something like that, I think. And the passion in me could not allow me to just sit, because I just wanted to have my matric certificate so bad. I wanted that matric certificate so bad that I actually left my child to stay there. So 7 years later, when Muso passed on, I had delivered my second baby. It was 2010. The World Cup, during the World Cup thing, 1st of May, he woke up dead. I had a 3-month-old baby that he'd never seen, even this day. His mother had asked me to bring him, but because of the distance that had already been created, I had already tried to move on. I had found someone that was willing to take me with the baby, but when the baby was about to come, he changed, and he started telling me, hey, take your baby away to its father. He refused, and I accepted my fate to say, I'm going to raise this child and his brother alone. I tried to make them have a father, but it's not working out, so let me just accept that there's a man that gave me kids and he died. And that created me to really hate relationships. Even this day, I'm not sure if I can even handle a relationship.
But tell me, do you believe that it's Muso? Do you believe that he was your soulmate?
He was truly my soulmate. He taught me agencies. I never knew about agencies. He loved my music, even if it didn't make sense to a lot of people. But he would prefer me sing to him, like rap.
I know you are still fighting for the law. Could you tell us really what happened to Muso?
Even to this day, even family doesn't actually know. He was found lying on the road. The car he was in the discs were taken. It has smashed a wall somehow, but he died of a wound of something hard that hit him. And they had to switch off his machines at Para.
You've had a lot of loss in your life, from your personal children to people you love. A man who came into your life, showed you love, gave you 2 beautiful children, and yet you are still fighting to understand what love is, if I'm correct.
True.
We're going to take a quick break. Usually what happens on Scars, halfway through the show we have entertainment, but we decided today that because Ms. V's in the house and she's an entertainer, she will only entertain us at the end of the show. So we're going to take a quick break right here on Galaxy Universal Network, starts at channel 500. And you are watching Scars with me, Umariki Bothma Ntomzamazulu. If unombuzo ku Miss V, uguti how she's made it through all these tough times. If you maybe are going through a tough time, or you just want to give her a word of motivation, please do go to our Facebook page and send a comment, which we will read live. And if you have anything else to share with us, maybe your own experience, maybe Miss V's strength to tell her story today is giving you strength to share yours. Facebook yethu, put in your comments there, we will answer. And maybe today you just need a word or two of advice to show you that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, it doesn't matter what you go through, but you're capable of everything if you put your mind and heart to it. We'll be right back after the break. Do not go anywhere.
I loved him. I really did. But I don't think love looks like this.
Ntate we, abuti we, o ikutlwa jwang ho shapa mosadi? O ikutlwa jwang ho bona ka o monna empa o se monna? Tlohelang ho shapang basadi. Re kgathetse ke lona. Ke re tlohelang. Enough is enough.
Kukhane niyokwazi ukuthi nabo abantu besilisa bayashaya, bayahlukumezeka. Sekwanele. Masihlanganeni. Enough is enough.
Laat ons mekaar bystaan. Blank. Swart. Jy sien my vandag, jy weet nie wie ek is of waar ek vandaan kom nie. I am who I am today because of what you made me. We're saying enough is enough.
I knew she was being abused, and I knew he was the abuser, but I looked away. I saw the hashtags RIP, and I shared it without thinking that I could have stopped it. Say no to gender-based violence.
Enough is enough. Gender-based violence, it starts with me. Galaxy Universal Network, we stand together.
Welcome back again right here on Galaxy Universal Network on Starset Channel 500 with me, Mariki Bothma Ntomzamazulu. Currently you are watching Scars right here in Midrand at our head office, and we have the most amazing woman, Miss V, who for the first time is openly sharing with the world her life experiences. She told us about the loss of a baby daughter. She told us about the loss of her loved one. And I'm going to go back to the healing process, Ms. V. At which point did you realize you need to heal? And how did you go about accepting certain things in your life and moving on?
Okay, 2016, after I came to Joburg, I started to spend most of my time going to hospital there in Bara. When I'm free, I'd just go and ask to just help clean. And I'd see women that would be so hurt, like physically so And when they told what had happened to them, I realized that even if I've been raped and I've been neglected and rejected, I'm actually favored. Then I started to use my time more to read my Bible, have friends that were churchgoers. I engaged more into volunteering, into singing in church. And then somehow, the joy of being alive was there, but then still I was fearing to come out as a girl. People would see this boy, you know, might appear with my all-stars, they
Tomboy.
Yeah, and people
not
would ask me, are you
tomboy,
gay? Like, are you gay? Are you a boy? Like, are you a girl? If I'll be dressed like a girl and all made up and stuff, and a guy will come and like, are you a boy? Are you gay? Like, what? Like, I felt offended. Like, but then I'd rather be this than when I'm a girl, because it means I'm attracting all these guys, you know. And once you've been raped, it's kind of like something in you dies, and you just let go. And when you're facing challenges, most of the time, especially as females, we tend to think being slapped is love, and you'd find this person is just coming to take and bounce. It happens year in, year out, year in, year out. Then the whole 2016, when it ended, I had found friends, new friends at home, you know, Buck Wild Entertainment. Those are my boys, like it's a crew, Tanik Mo, you know. And I started to psych into hip hop a little bit, turned my content into lyrics, rapping about these things. When I'm a superstar, yo, she can rap, but it was true from inside. It was words that came out and they made sense to me because I was coughing out. And then I met Matthew Mpokwetsa, may his soul rest in peace. He changed the whole concept. He believed in my dreams. He believed in my ideas. He used to tell me I can do it. He used to say I can change a whole lot, you know. He used to say I'm a model. And I'd be like, every time when he speaks, I'd be like, Drive, please don't come with that nonsense. There's models. You're working with models every day. It's like, V, have you seen yourself? Like,
because we always tend to people telling us we're good at something, but because of we have lost our self-love, we have accepted we are not good for anything, but only to be used and abused.
Only to be used and abused, yes, and it becomes normal. You
so
know?
when someone does give you that you know what, you're actually unique, you're actually different, you're actually special, you're actually good at this or good at that, we don't take them serious.
And it's not because we don't want to take them serious, it's because you've been told false promises too much.
You've accepted your fate, basically.
It's like that's just chick that's just gonna be working in pubs. I used to work, I used to wipe tables in pubs, you know, just to make sure we at least in Banero on Yana. And you know, sometimes people that I went to school with, they'll downgrade from this girl that was performing nice at school. What happened? And nothing happened. I haven't changed. The situation at home hasn't changed for me to can actually be accused of not growing, you know, because I was young. It was maybe God's way to make me go through my youth so that I can appreciate life more when I'm now a mature mother and a woman, you know, so I can be able to appreciate the things that I have, that God has blessed me with, you know, and it's more spiritual path. I left the physical part of me. Because if I went with how my physical challenges are, I wouldn't be able to break through and actually reach out to the things I see on my own when I'm sleeping. And those are my dreams.
You are an extremely powerful woman, even the way you explain things and you put things. I know you started a company that is focused on helping other rape survivors and victims. And again, I want to remind our viewers at home that scars is not just about my physical scars. Like in the first episode, I showed off my stab wounds and stuff. We all may not have physical scars on the outside, but every human being has got scars within. It's just we are good at covering it up. So could you take us to why open a company that focuses? I know Northwest is your heart and soul.
True.
Take us through your journey in starting this company, and what are you doing?
My company starts, before it became a company, it's an NGO actually. It's based in prison. It does reintegration of offenders in communities through arts. We're all born with talents and skills. And I say to most people that are mostly in jail, they're actually unique, and they're actually the most cleverest people ever. And they've been in jail. You know, so if the system can change to say once you're on parole, because when you're inside prison, they take you to school. You get say qualifications and certificates and stuff. When you come out of prison, the community is still angry at you, and they don't understand. They see this monster. They fear you. And once you are rejected, it's easy for you to become anything, because now you're trying to survive. So in the company's aim now is to expose the skills in the former criminal actors or perpetrators to say now that they've served time and they want to change their own lives, and at the same time acknowledge the mistake in the community. Once they come out, the government does this thing of saying that they get to be on parole, they sign. And when you sign, you're supposed to be at home at a certain time. And those times sometimes are awkward, because you find that you can't even go out to try and find a job because you are having a criminal record. You can't find yourself a girlfriend because every girl is afraid of you because you're from prison. So prison is written, it's a bad place to be in, yes. And I'm not condoning to say go to prison and come back and act like you want to be a good civilian. But there's genuine change in these people that come from prison, because their life now relies on time. So their integration is to give them an opportunity to bring in change in the community. As much as they'll be signing, no one is paying them. But the platform for the organization is to say, if you're signing and you're based in Majakaning, for instance, there's a community called Majakaning, and you're from that community. Once you're released from prison for a mere change of environment, you get to be given a project maybe based not in that community as per se, but the neighboring community. And then if you were you were taught to be a social worker inside prison. When you come out, we have social issues that are in the community that the social development itself cannot reach. But then you find that 3 houses, there's a qualified social worker, but because they got the skills in prison, they cannot act or do anything. But that person, once they know social development, acknowledges them because they have been under punishment and they've
already
credits.
served their time.
They've already served their time, and they have been trained inside to say, you are now a social worker, you have a big certificate like this. Once you're out on parole, the system then can link that individual to the right department that deals with their talents, so that in the community we can have a center or a platform for those people to transfer their skills into the young ones, be the ones to talk in the community about how dangerous it is to become a criminal or do criminal acts, so that a person can have a second chance in life and they be able to live on and have goodness. So then I realized, because everybody would tell me, so when are you going to work with inmates? How are you going to work with a person from prison? I tell them it's a godly thing. It's a spiritual thing. So I was like, okay, let me just a little bit now see how I can actually implement the idea without bothering anyone's position, or because they think I want to take over. What are prison waters if you do this, what are prison waters going to eat? Because now you want to finish people from coming to prison, you know? So Talent Awareness Agency was born. Talent Awareness Agency deals with mental fitness. It's not just about rape victims, it's not about violence or abuse, but the mental state of a person from as young as 6. Once a child starts knowing how to talk, their mind is easily active. So what a child sees, what child engages in every day turns them to become what they grew up in. So with the company, the aim is to build focus through arts again, because through every talent that we find, if a child feels comfortable in their talent, feels comfortable in their state of being a child in that level. Their rights are well practiced. They grow up to be independent young
and I think
women
also
and
for them
males.
to understand what their talent is. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Miss V actually perform for us. But I want to go back to this thing of what you instill in a child's mind is what a child grows up to believe in. And when I do my prison visits, I find that most of the time these men and women that are serving sentences in prison have been mentally or physically abused in some way as children, and that's why they tend to end up committing crimes, because it's their way. They never dealt with the pain of whatever they went through as children. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Ms. V perform for us. Do not go anywhere. We're still on Galaxy Universal Network right here on StarSat Channel 500, and you're watching Scars with me, Ntomzama Zulu. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I loved him. I really did. But I don't think love looks like this.
Ntate we, abuti we, o ikutlwa jwang ho shapa mosadi? O ikutlwa jwang ho bona ka o monna empa o se monna? Tlohelang ho shapang basadi. Re kgathetse ke lona. Ke re tlohelang. Enough is enough.
Kukhane niyokwazi ukuthi nabo abantu besilisa bayashaya, bayahlukunezeka. Sekwanele. Masihlanganeni. Enough is enough.
Laat ons mekaar bystaan. Blank. Swart. Jy sien my vandag, jy weet nie wie ek is of waar ek vandaan kom nie. I am who I am today because of what you made me. We're saying enough is enough.
I knew she was being abused, and I knew he was the abuser, but I looked away. I saw the hashtags RIP, and I shared it without thinking that I could have stopped it. Say no to gender-based violence.
Enough is enough. Gender-based violence, it starts with me. Galaxy Universal Network, we stand together.
Feel the heat.
Alright. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way.
Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
Miss V down them things. What's that?
Okay.
Get Down to Lagos, to the most overall sound to Tassa or Drunk Feed. This money making all the shines to break. Gina's petty juice X, we don't fall for the stats. Cash is your life, baby, cash is your life. Without cash, you've got nothing, I lay out to you so glad. Wake up, smell coffee, not the green stuff, stakes up. Get more, you getting greedy, uzo fuga nini moshagele langa pat. Abawasi, you bazoglaka yonke chizumlato. Ubeti loto, ito moto, wesa nani mojo. Uyingute bantwani nubizi funi konjo. Babeke wena nale mali, batubuya gupi sugar daddy. Ovela nabo bagu, batungene kasi bati fele usle. No figa lelo langa melu vaya no money. Kilele mangsan, twara mani make a baby sa senyana. Ese kalo toto bari homonatimo. Pamele ko federeta ko panadaso. Kilele mang, twara mani make a baby sa senyana. Ese kalo toto bari homonatimo. Pamele ko federeta ko panadaso. Kilele mang, twara mani make a baby sa senyana. Ese kalo toto bari homonatimo. Pamele ko federeta ko panadaso. Totya dikasi kuta usabanda ki la ras. I don't care who le first or last class. Marak bono karembe nunwe nuntela di chance. Ake snacks, ake collecti lady max. Marano di las kabona horuntela ko class relaxa. Ki rato bona federi fate. Cause on the mic out jeta ki akutube leleta. Fele leleta. Kita ki ro karakakata ki akopa kupeta. Ki rosi yo sunya sunyeta witeri ki out it. Kita sotwane so ki out jweta. Auke mafoko ame never crameta san. Kere, kya ho kara kakata, kopa kopeta, kirosi yo sunya sunyeta witeri kya te, kese sotwane so kya ujweta, ao ke mafoko ame never kwamita sad. Ilele man, swara mani make a baby sa sinya nako. Isi khalo totwa baro komo natimo. Bamele ko federeta ko panadaso. Kilele man, swara mani mega baby sa sinya nako. Isi khalo totwa baro komo natimo. Bamele ko federeta ko panadaso. Attention, pass a few days to mention. Ungazo kwali corruption, isazo faga ngelokshen. Mobilete le mission, you robot take a lokshen. Urijo take a station. Even police station is not the life you wanna live. Cause you wanna ride. Be in a grown nigga, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Hey! Kilele man, swara mani make a baby sa sinya nako. Isi khalo totwa baro komo natimbo. Bamili ko federeta ko panadaso. Kilele man, swara mani make a baby sa sinya nako. Isi khalo totwa baro komo natimo. Bamili ko federeta ko panadaso.
I loved him. I really did. But I don't think love looks like this.
Ntate we, abuti we, o ikutlwa jwang ho shapa mosadi? O ikutlwa jwang ho bona ka o monna empa o se monna? Tlohelang ho shapang basadi. Re kgathetse ke lona. Ke re tlohelang. Enough is enough.
Kukhane niyokwazi ukuthi nabo abantu besilisa bayashaya. Bayahlukunezeka. Sekwanele. Masihlanganeni. Enough is enough.
Laat ons mekaar bystaan. Blank. Swart. Jy sien my vandag, jy weet nie wie ek is of waar ek vandaan kom nie. I am who I am today because of what you made me. We're saying enough is enough.
I knew she was being abused, and I knew he was the abuser, but I looked away. I saw the hashtags RIP, and I shared it without thinking that I could have stopped it. Say no to gender-based violence.
Enough is enough. Gender-based violence, it starts with me. Galaxy Universal Network, we stand together.
And on my show, thank you so much for the first time.
Bless.
Allowing yourself to open up.
Bless.
About your past. And please carry on pushing. Tell me if viewers out there would like to contact you or would like to even book you or someone who just wants someone to talk to, where can they find you?
On Facebook, I'm Matapelo V Wagwanjovu. You can also find on Miss V. And on Instagram, it's Miss Vicious. On Twitter, it's Miss Vicious. And just holler, inbox, Twitter, we sisonke. So Bamba from Lapo, and then we'll take it to WhatsApp. I would say my 0 numbers, but then I don't want other calls.
No, we don't want those.
We don't want those.
Obviously, well, thank you so much for joining us again right here on Scars on Galaxy Universal Network, Starsat Channel 500. If you maybe only caught the end of the show, do go to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel and watch the show. You don't want to miss this amazing woman. And to think she's gone through so much in life and now she is standing tall and literally
she is tall.
She is tall and then she goes and wears higher heels. Mina nobufishane bami uMariki Bothma untomzama Zulu zinto intombi zase-KZN. I'm signing out until next time, next week, Saturday, same time, same place. But tomorrow morning, do catch me on Weekend Express. Until then, God bless. And as I usually close the show, Zangenala Bogutiwa Ongene Konaga Pumi Sapuma